All right, welcome back. It is December 4th, 2025. And look, while all the headlines are screaming about the Fed, the biggest market-moving event in the last 18 hours is happening right under our noses, and almost no one is talking about it. Let's get into it.
So, if you've been anywhere online today, you know that Fed Chair Jerome Powell just gave a speech. The markets are doing their thing, trying to figure it all out, and yeah, it's the headline everyone's latched on to.
But what if I told you that the most important thing that's happened in the last day has absolutely nothing to do with the Fed? Yeah, there is a much bigger, much quieter story unfolding, and it's happening just beneath the surface.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, let's first take a quick look at the obvious stuff. The market movements that have everybody's attention right now. So, on the surface, everything looks pretty solid. Bitcoin is holding strong, just chilling near its weekly high around 92,700 bucks. But Ethereum is the real story here, surging almost 4% in just the last 24 hours. And that's pretty much all thanks to the Fusaka upgrade successfully activating. Everyone's hyped. But again, this is just the surface noise. Now, let's get to the real story, the one that isn't on the front page, but honestly has some massive implications. We are talking about a silent tsunami of institutional money, and it's all flowing into one specific altcoin.
Just look at this number, $875 million. That is the total net inflow into spot XRP ETFs in just 13 straight days. Now, if you're not familiar, an ETF is just a simple way for traditional investors to buy crypto on the stock market. To see this kind of relentless buying day after day after day for almost 2 weeks, well, it's just astonishing. And this is where it gets really weird. This is the paradox. While nearly $1 billion of institutional cash has been pouring into XRP, the price for you and me, the retail price, has barely budged. It's just hovering around $2.14. This is a huge disconnect. So what is going on here? So this is the crucial part. We have to understand what this quiet, massive investment really means, because this isn't just about one coin. No. This is a signal about a fundamental shift happening across the entire market. This really shows you the bigger picture. XRP is now leading the entire pack in altcoin ETF inflows. It's even outpacing absolute heavyweights like Solana. This is a crystal clear signal that institutions, what we call TradFi or traditional finance, they are actively looking for regulated ways to get into altcoins beyond just the big two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the proof we've been waiting for. Big money is finally, seriously, diversifying into the crypto market. And this big institutional move is happening at a really critical time. According to Chris Cooper over at Fidelity, we might be entering what they're calling the acceleration phase. Think of it as the final leg of the bull market, and historically, it means two things: way more volatility and one last absolutely explosive price surge. Okay, so let's zoom back out to the wider market for a second, because there's this really fascinating contradiction happening. The prices just don't seem to match the overall mood. We are seeing some serious momentum in some of these mid-cap alts. Zcash is up over 5%. Avalanche is up almost 4.5%. But it's not a party for everyone. You look at something like HBAR, and it's down almost 4%, so investors are definitely being selective right now. And here is the twist. This is the current reading on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 26. That is firmly, and I mean firmly, in the fear category. So all this upward price movement is happening while the average retail investor is still absolutely terrified. And here's the key takeaway. A rally that's built on fear is often way more sustainable. It suggests that the smart money, the institutions buying up all those XRP ETFs, they're accumulating, while the everyday person is still on the sidelines. And that means there is potentially a lot more room for this thing to run before that widespread FOMO, the fear of missing out, kicks in and just overheats the entire market. This analogy just perfectly captures this moment. From the outside, the market might look calm, almost quiet. But underneath, there's this incredible tension, just like a race car on ice. The conditions are perfect for a sudden, incredibly volatile move in either direction. So if the big institutional money is already here and retail is still scared, what's the spark that could light the fuse? Well, looking ahead, there is one major event on the horizon that could act like absolute rocket fuel for this entire market. It's called the Genius Act. It's a bill in the U.S. Senate that wants to create a clear set of rules for stablecoins. And this is a potential game changer.
I mean, Fidelity itself has said that regulated stablecoins could become the backbone of the global transfer of money. So if this act passes, think about the chain reaction, the dominoes that would fall. First, you get clear regulations for stablecoins that then unlocks their use for massive global payments for both regular people and big corporations. And since Ethereum is where so much of the stablecoin action happens, this regulatory clarity would just supercharge its entire ecosystem.
So this is where we are. Institutional smart money is here, making these quiet, massive bets. Retail investors are still gripped by fear, watching from the sidelines, and we have a major catalyst just waiting in the wings. The ultimate question, then, is what happens to this market when all of that fear finally flips to greed? That is the real story to watch.